mute. Let me mute us.
Hey, everybody. We are back. Spicy Season Sisters. Yay! Episode what?
32.
32.
Oh. Yes, I'm
Wow.
super excited.
Yes.
My name is Renette Upson Bush, aka the Next Level Chick.
I am simply Tammy, your spicy coach.
I am Coach Gail Benson, your favorite certified master life coach.
All right. And our sister Latoya, we can get her in here shortly, but we know the show must go on. So we are going to go on. And we want to talk about this week something that's near and dear to our heart, and a lot of you all have, I'm sure, felt it as well. So we would be remiss to not talk about it. So we want to talk about it. In this heartfelt episode of Spicy Season Sisters, we are pausing for the cause to honor a living legend, Malcolm Jamal Warner. From his iconic role as Theo Huxtable to his powerful work as a poet, a musician, an Emmy winning director, Malcolm Jamal Warner has shown us what it means to evolve with purpose and artistry. As seasoned women in our 40s and beyond, we know something about growth, we know something about invention and leaving a legacy while still living it. So, together tonight, we want to explore his career and all the great things about him. The conversation is a celebration of his life, his authenticity, and the beauty of the evolving over time. Y'all, stay tuned. Join us as we give flowers and reflect on the legacy, as well as looking at how we can continue to grow boldly and unapologetically in a spicy way. Woo woo! Let us buckle up and let's what? Right!
Oh my goodness.
I love it.
Yes. So what I want to do before we really start, if you want to like say anything, because we're going to talk about and unpack feelings. Um, so if anybody want to say something before we actually get started. Anybody? Y'all
Well,
just
say
want me
something.
to start.
Just go ahead.
Um,
Let's,
Go ahead, Tammy.
no, I'll defer to you, Gail.
I just think it's a conversation that needs to be had. We definitely all have been impacted by the broad, wide strokes of the life of Malcolm Jamal Warner, and we have to have these conversations. Because he impacted all of us, not just men, but women. Just how he lived his life. It's something to embrace, and we actually truly watched him evolve gracefully. So I'm excited for us to have this conversation, and it is a space to share how
Right.
he impacted your life, how he inspired you, because he inspires so many of us from so many different walks of life, and we honor him. We lift his family up in prayer. We wrap our arms and send love and hugs to everyone that loved him. We
Yes.
feel the loss, and he will truly be missed.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
And Gail, that would be a little more personal to you, being that you had direct contact with him and his family. So to his family, his mom, his uh I just send my condolences out. And Malcolm Jamal Warner, you remember that kiddish smile that he had on the Cosby Show that just electrified all of us. And throughout the years, he evolved into so many other acting roles, and then outside of acting, poetry and so forth. So, and he lived his life quietly, which is a beautiful thing.
Mhm.
Living your life quietly and being able to do what you do in such a spectacular way, I think that's a beautiful thing.
And that's one of the things that I really want to talk about, how he did live his life quietly. He lived his life quietly, but it was powerful as well. And he lived life on his terms. And so
Right.
that was really, really, really so important. And the thing
Yeah.
that I really wanted to say about that is, y'all, a lot of times people like gravitate towards the loudest one and the one that's out there. That's not the loudest, is not always the right person, the
Right.
thing that we should be gravitating towards. And
Right.
everybody has to do what is for them.
Right.
And so, as we live this big, spicy age, he taught
Yes.
us how to live life for us. And we don't have to be defined by what somebody said that we're too old, that it's
Right.
too late. And we talk about
Right.
this all the time, but I see so many women that say, "Oh my God, I love what you're doing. I wish I could do it. I just can't. I'm just too old." And they have all of these things, so they're not living life boldly. You don't have to be loud, but you can
Right.
be bold.
Mhm.
Bold is not, a lot of people hear bold and they feel loud, like show off. I mean, bold is showing up. And
Right.
because you show up, don't mean that you got to be loud. When
True.
I walk in the room, I feel my presence is known. I feel my presence is shown, just how
Mhm.
I walk in the room. I don't know if
Right.
y'all feel that way too. I do know. Y'all do. Y'all
Right.
walk in the room,
Mhm.
your presence is shown. And so it is many ways to walk in this bold and spicy season. And
Right.
so we don't have to think that, oh, it has to be loud, it has to be boisterous. No, it doesn't have to be. You can walk in just as quiet and make your presence known. And
Right.
so I love that about his life, that, he did
Right.
keep it quiet. He did keep it, you know, how he wanted it to be. And that's so important in our lives, that we keep it how we want it to be. Nobody gets to decide how we get to
Right.
do this thing.
Right.
We get to decide. And so
Right.
we at a bold age, we at a spicy age, we are at a big age, which, at this big age, we should be doing big things and knowing that, hey, we can walk in any space and place we want to walk in. And so, with that being said, I love just the representation that his legacy brought about, from the Cosby Show to Read Between the Lines and beyond. His work showed the Black lifestyle, the Black family life. I was talking to my husband, because he's not really, he watches TV, but I wouldn't. I was like, "Did you watch the Cosby Show?" And he was like, "What Black family didn't?" And
Mhm.
they
Mhm.
really crossed the generations, and they really made us feel good about being Black and brown people, and we felt really good about it. And so that was really big, because it changed a whole world. And when you choose to show up and be bold, what legacy
Mhm.
are you going to be able to leave, because you've chosen to be bold, to show up? Anyone can make a choice to show up and change the world.
Right.
And we're
But
for women
um,
40 plus to represent. Go ahead,
mhm.
Tammy.
Let me interject a little bit here. The beautiful thing with living your life the way he did is that he was able to position himself and do things as we all are
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
able to do so. But he took it upon himself to move quietly. Do you know, when you move quietly, you move without all the judgments, all the opinions. And when you can live without all the judgments and opinions, you don't have all that chaos in your head about what's going on behind you. So that is just remarkable how he went through all these years. Okay. Him being just a little bit younger than I am. Um, um, I agree with his lifestyle and how he moved. I agree, move quietly because you don't want all that judgment and chaos. And being in the limelight like that would have made it even harder for him. But he was able to accomplish so much because he was quiet. And some of
Mhm.
us need to practice that in our lives.
We've
Yes.
talked about that on other episodes about, some we need to be quiet. Sometimes we don't have to announce and put on a production for everything. And keep in mind that the things that we're accomplishing, it's
Hmm.
not it's not for everybody. Your gifts and your powers are aligned for certain people, places, and things. And sometimes things are just for you. And while we're
Right,
learning, I think we have to get away from wanting to announce and prove everything that we're doing and prove that we're making progress instead of leaning into the to those still moments because we're still learning, we're still growing, we gotta still show up. And
right.
when we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, the impact is going to be felt. It doesn't need to be heard. It needs to be felt. So
Right.
I totally agree, Tammy, when you said that, and we said that before, is that sometimes we need to be quiet.
We do, Gail. And it would be nice if we all understood when to be quiet and when to speak.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Conversation today, this evening. Um, sometimes your voice doesn't need to be heard.
Hmm. Hmm.
Sometimes you need to just keep it going, keep it moving, and allow some things to work themselves out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Hmm.
There's so many lessons in silence. And I think we talked about that a couple of podcasts ago about the silence and the difference that it makes. And so a lot of times silence is golden and it really makes the difference when we do that. And
Right.
sometimes when we open our mouths, you can really destroy some stuff. So it's okay to
Yes.
be quiet.
Hmm.
It's okay to move
Hmm.
silent because everybody don't need to know what you're doing and how you're moving. So I love that, and I just love the representation that he brought about and the Cosby family that they brought about for Black people. It just put us, I
Hmm.
think, it put us in a new space and place, and to make people really, because before that, a lot of people were like, "Oh, I didn't know Black people live like that." They didn't even really feel like they knew we were doctors. We had doctors, we had attorneys, we had that, but people just didn't really see it. And so I think that was a
Hmm.
whole era of helping people to really believe. You know what? Even though it was TV,
Right.
people started believing, you know what, I can do this, I can be that, I can be anything I want to be. I can be an actor, I can be a doctor, I could
Right.
be this, because a lot of times, we thought football players and that kind of stuff, that's what a lot of men thought, or guys thought, but we could be anything we want to be. And I think that was some of the things that was shown from him, that we can be anything and
Right.
everything that we want to be. So that representation is everything. And so what I want to say is, yes, Gloria,
Yeah,
actions speak
Gloria. Actions
louder
speak louder than
than
words. Yeah.
words. And so at this age and stage of 40 plus, a lot of times people think, oh, it's the red light and nobody's watching you.
Hmm.
People are watching you, whether you realize it or not. Me and Tammy realized that last week. Oh my God. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
everywhere you go,
Yeah.
Gail, I'm sure you get this. We all get this. Girl, I see you. And sometimes people are bold enough and they don't even have it in them to be able to speak and say something. But force yourself sometimes to be able to say, hey, I love it. And sometimes as you put yourself out there, you start to feel better. I
Right.
know this lady told me, she was like, I'm your secret stalker. I don't say anything. Well, I've been watching you forever, and I love what you do, and I learn a lot of how to move and which way to move and what I should do by watching you. And I was like, oh, really? And she was like, yeah. I'm telling you, I'm telling on myself, but I'm a super stalker. And I was like, oh. So I'm starting to understand why I must walk in this purpose. And we all understand that. And yes, understanding that. And yes, Sonia, representation, what's wrong? Matters. And a lot of times we
It
have this
does.
dream, this goal, this vision, and then we start to think it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. I don't matter because you feel like maybe overlooked. You feel like not seen, invisible, but you don't know who's seeing you. You don't know what people are thinking. Post your content. Go after your dream.
Right.
Do the thing that everybody said you couldn't. And if they saying that, you maybe shouldn't have told them. So that's the point of being quiet again. You may need to be quiet. We can't tell everybody everything. Okay.
How about the fact that we have a 92-year-old Dr. Delphia Spencer, and she, because of us, is going to publish her book.
Yes,
So
yes.
we speak about 40 plus, 50 plus, but look, a 92, and this lady is brilliant. She works an iPad better than I can. She works an iPhone better than I can.
Wow.
She should be
Dr.
shamed. I know.
Doctor, but 92 years old, and she says she watches all of our episodes. So, we're hitting home with a lot of people.
And that
But you
really
know what? Oh, I'm sorry, Nat.
No, I just want to say that really matters. And what I want to say to you all is, I mean, we're doing this because we want to make a difference and help people to really step up in their bowl season. This is not
Right.
the end of life. This is not the this may be the ladder. And in the Bible, what does it say? The ladder is supposed to be greater. The ladder shall be greater than the beginning.
Right.
So with that being said, that means you need to be stepping up and moving so that your ladder can be greater than your beginning. If you sitting on it and you sitting in it and you're not doing nothing about it, that is a problem because God has called you to bigger spaces and places, and it is time to get in alignment for your God-given assignment. And that's one of the representations that Malcolm Jamal Warner helped us to realize. He represented, and guess what? 40 plus, 50 plus, 60 plus, 70 plus, 80 plus, and now 90 plus. We need to represent. Y'all put in the comments represent, baby, because we need to
represent.
Yes.
Represent. It's time to represent, baby. It's time to show up and show out so that we can really make a difference. Yes, thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. We are representing. So with that being said, I want to talk about the power of reinvention because that's really what happened with Malcolm Jamal Warner. You know, a lot of childhood stars, y'all know they childhood stars and they fall off. You don't never see them again. Or they've had this and they've had maybe, you know, some law troubles or whatever. And then some of them just kind of, we don't even know. We never hear about him again. Right. This man totally reinvented himself in so many ways.
Right.
Poet, musician, director, Emmy winner, and kept moving and creating and going and going and doing.
Right.
How can you reinvent yourself at 40 plus and beyond? Right. Can y'all give us, you know, your tips on how you can reinvent yourself? Glad it's finally we were able to get you on. Thank you, Toya. Text sometimes acts ugly, but you know what?
Yep.
You made it.
I'm here. Can y'all hear me okay?
We hear you okay. See you okay, beautiful. Hey.
So Renette, what was that question again?
Okay, I talked about women 40 plus and beyond. What are some tips you all can give to help reinvent yourself? If somebody's feeling like I'm kind of concerned about people thinking I'm doing too much. I'm really concerned myself about how I'm gonna look, about people talking about me. And a lot of times people might be like, child, bye. But that's a real fear. And sometimes people
Mhm.
are very fearful and they feel like they cannot do that. And sometimes, you have your kids, I remember I wrote my book, Put Your Mouth on It. Lord Jesus, my children was like, Mommy, why would you write something like that? That's embarrassing to us. Do you know what that is? I said, no, do y'all know what it is? I'm going to
Right.
step out in what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
And I got a lot of stuff and feedback that was kind of negative, but I know what God called me to do. And I sat on my gifts and my talents a little longer till my children grew up. But once I hit a certain point and God said, go, He told me go before, but I was hesitant. And I had to get around some different people in some different spaces. And
Hmm.
that's one of the ways that I was able to reinvent myself. I
Right.
got around different people who were
Right.
doing different things, the
Right.
things that I
Mhm.
wanted to do. And sometimes people look good, then they never talk about their dreams, they never open up, but deep inside, they wish that they could be doing some of the things they really wanted to do. So, what are some
Mhm.
suggestions?
But first suggestion is you just make a complete choice that you're going to change and that you're going to move forward with whatever. That's exactly what I had to do. Um, Sitting in the background, hoping and praying, it's not coming. Action speaks louder than words. Action speaks louder than sitting on your tail and not making anything happen.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Just make a decision, decree, declare, and decide.
Right.
And once you do that, be determined to
Hmm.
make it happen.
Right.
A lot of
So many
Mhm.
times
others.
people, they may decree, declare, and they haven't really decided. They teeter totter and they got a toe in, a foot, baby, be 10 toes down about what it is you say you're going to do. Whatever your dream is, be 10 toes down. It is okay to reinvent yourself. It is
Right.
okay to do different things. And sometimes people say, oh, you just doing everything and you do whatever. Okay, God says I can do all things through Christ who strengthens
There
me.
you
So
go.
gave
There you
me
go.
all things. I mean, I might not be able to do them all at one time, but I know I got the capacity to do what God has said
Right.
I can do. I mean, God made me, and I'm moving in His image and what He said I could do. So I feel like you shouldn't allow people to limit you. You know your
So
limit.
so in saying that, Renette,
Yeah.
you have to stop giving people your power. You allow
Mhm.
other people's power to lead you and drive. Why? I would never. Um,
Mhm.
and so you lose by doing that. Why don't you exert your own power, your own, and do it your way? Because when you're
Mhm.
fearful and you're worrying about what somebody's gonna say, baby, they're talking about you anyway.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
You might as
Yeah, and
Ooh,
well
I will add.
go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tammy. I'm
No, go ahead.
sorry.
Yeah. No, no, go ahead.
And I was going to add to that, Tammy. That was so good about the decision, because it's three things that we need to embrace, or I would suggest we embrace when we're looking at the renewal of our spirits, our minds, and trying to accomplish these things as being who we see ourselves being, reinventing ourselves. We need to decide, who is it that we want to be? That we need to learn that skill of not caring about what other people think about what we are or are not doing, and stop letting them insert their insecurities, their traumas, their fears, and their opinions into our spaces.
I
And then
love
we
it.
also have to, once we embrace the fact that we have more than one story to tell, we are in different phases of our life. So there are going to be endings and beginnings along the way.
Right.
And the beginning is always going to be anywhere you start. Wherever you start, that is where you are beginning. When that thing ends, guess what? That ending is still your beginning. And it takes you back to decide that you're going to do it, who
Yeah.
you want to be, and where you want to go.
Right.
Learn that skill to leave those people and their traumas and their problems in their respective places. I say it all the time. Give them the grace to be where they at, and give yourself the peace to leave they tail there. And do your beginning is anywhere you start. Be willing to do that work, because it is not always running through the fields and picking flowers and smelling them and singing at the butterflies and the bumblebees. You got to do the work, because your
Work.
dream is going to cost. Not doing your dream is going to cost you what?
Right.
You don't hand your dreams over and your purpose over to people who are already in pain and pitiful. Don't do
Right.
that. My dream
Right.
is far more valuable than to hand it over. And that's like God giving me a gift and not take it and just throw it in the mud and step on it and keep walking because my next door neighbor don't get the same gift that I have. I don't get to slap God in the face with what he gave me. So when he
Mhm.
asked me, Gail, what did you do with it? I promise you, I did the best I could.
Right.
Amen. Amen. And that trauma bonding is basically what you were saying. And so we have got to be in a
Mm-hmm.
space, like Gail said, we got to learn to bless people and let them go. I
Right.
love you.
Mm-hmm.
God bless you.
Deuces.
Mama, sister, cousin, brother, best friend, lifetime friend. Okay. Yes, we should celebrate evolution without shame.
Yes.
There you
Absolutely.
go.
Please say that again, baby. We should celebrate evolution without shame. So at this point in time, at this big spicy age, baby, you ain't no baby now. Okay, we not spring chickens now. So why are we tiptoeing around and not
Mhm.
doing what it is we need to do? Sometimes people need a little push. You need a little nudge. It's a lot of things that I wanted to do in my life in my earlier age. But I listened to people, I got caught
Mhm.
up, and like my mother used to always say, and y'all know the saying, children should be seen and not
And
heard.
not heard.
That was
Mhm.
one of the most negative statements ever, if you ask me, because it caused us to be silent. And so many of us at this big age, we still are allowing our voices to be silent. And because
Mhm.
Malcolm decided to make this choice and he reinvented himself and he showed us, oh, I can do all the things, and he did all the things. He didn't allow himself to be silenced. So if you weren't pushed to do that, because we were all stuck in that what children should be seen and not heard, we were stuck in, you gonna do as I say and not as I do. It was a lot of negative stuff that they didn't know it as negative. We didn't know it was negative. We kind of thought, okay, mom and daddy telling us, and they were doing the best they could. So we're not saying they did bad. They were doing the best they could. But that best today is holding a lot of people back. And so we got to
Oh
reinvent.
boy, is that just
We got to reinvent. And that's what we doing. So, yeah, we learn, but no, we got to relearn. Okay. It's okay to unlearn and relearn. And that's where many of us are at this big spicy age, where we have to unlearn those negative things, that trauma bonding. Just because I was their friend since we've been kindergarten and lap babies and all of that, and our mamas was friends and we grew up in, okay, and
Mhm. Mhm.
it's time
Mhm.
to move
Mhm.
on. Right. Reframe your mind and renew your perspective. Because if you don't
Mhm.
renew that perspective and you stay in that same little bubble, your perspective is limited. And that promise that you keep talking about that you want, it will and shall not happen. Because
And
your
and
perspective
it
is not
leads to
what's limited.
resentment.
Yeah,
Leads to
absolutely.
resentment.
Yeah.
Yep. Boy.
That's a lot,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And we didn't think about that. And it's just like, I mean, who I am now, I haven't been that person that long. So a lot of people I get past people who and even my own family telling me, I know you. I know you. That ain't even much. And I know how you do. You don't know me, boo-boo. You know me. You don't know me. I'm a different representation. I represent for the women 40 plus. We doing bigger things and we stepping out unapologetically.
Yeah.
I was trying to do that as a child, but I was shut down. But can't nothing and nobody shut me down these days because God said I can. And when he said it shall and will be done. I'm gonna follow his word. What they say, whose report will you believe? Whose report will you believe? And a lot of people get up in church and you shouting and screaming and Holy Ghost and all over the place. But then when you get out of church, what you doing? You believe in the lie of the devil. Baby, I'm telling you right now, the fact that we on here and y'all know we on here, we look cute and stuff, but we going through some things. But baby, we giving hell a run for its freaking money. Okay? Because we not playing. We gonna do what we called to do. Baby,
Not.
yes, hell can go to hell because we ain't playing.
Baby. Ooh.
Hey,
I like what Queen said. We're meant to grow, learn, and become different versions of ourselves, especially at this age.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Yes, Queen. Most definitely. Most definitely. That is so. And a lot of people
wow,
don't think they're supposed to become that
that's
different
good.
version.
That's good.
That's really, really good.
I
So go ahead, Tammy.
no, I was gonna say this. We're talking about moving in silence, right? So if we're saying, okay,
Mhm.
move in silence, do what it is that you want to do, that means go do what you want to do. Keep your mouth shut. Your friends don't have to know. Your mama don't have to know. Your son doesn't have to know. Nobody has to know. Go do what you're gonna do, and then bam, pop it out there. Just bring it out to everybody, and everybody be like, it's because they're gonna be on board. But you've done this without all these opinions and all these things going on
Mhm.
around you. So that's my suggestion to a lot of people, and just be quiet. Stop telling your best friend everything. Go
Hmm.
and do it. Make
Mhm.
it happen. Make it happen.
That's
Beautifully,
good.
Because people can only help you to their capacity, even though they love you and you feel this bond with them and they're your best friend, or you and your cousin always talk about everything. But sometimes people are not set up to be in certain roles for you.
Right.
And one thing I teach my clients is that it is always okay to go back and revisit your support system. Because if you're doing
Right.
something different, the same people who were supporting you when you went through your divorce may not be the same people that's going to support you when you building a business. And the
There
people
you
that help
go.
you build a business may not be the support system you need when you seeking
Right.
some emotional or mental support and you need
Right.
counseling. So it is
Right.
okay to revisit your support wheel. It don't all these obligatory relationships just because that's your family or you've known them for a long time and you're tolerating the stagnancy because of the association of the relationship, and you feel the obligation to
Mhm.
continue to go around in these mundane circles that are not serving you, your purpose, or your power. So what is your priority? Is it people or is it your purpose?
mm,
Baby, if
Ooh.
it's people, then you're not walking in purpose. And if you're not walking in purpose, you're not living the life you were purpose for. And a lot of times we get it confused. I mean, you choosing people over God. And so as long as you're doing that, you're not gonna be going and doing the thing you were called to do. So we have to, really truly make a decision. And I as you say that, I have I think I'm so blessed because I have I would say six best friends. That's lovely to me. I have my
Oh yeah.
spicy seasoned sisters, and that's great. But the whole thing that you need to understand, you're talking to these people over and over and over, and like she said, you have to uh, look at your support system. And
Right.
that's one of the things that I have in my put your mouth on it book. Who is your top five? And you need to be doing
Mhm.
that and looking at what are they bringing to you? What are they what are they bringing to you? Are they draining? If they're draining you, if they're taking from you, then why are they in that five? Because you want to be
Mhm.
drained.
Mhm.
And right now, because I do have that amount of best friends, I'm super excited about it. But I don't want to tell them every issue and every problem I have because nobody want to hear problems all the time. And even though they say I'm here for you and they will be there for you, they're subjective. They're subjective. They're not objective.
Mhm.
I told my therapist the other day, I said, I get so excited to talk to you Not because I got a bunch of problems, but I can talk to you because you are objective, and I can tell you this, this, and that, and I know you're gonna tell me the truth. And your friends and your
Right.
support group, they're telling you to the best of their subjective ability, because they're not objective all the time. And sometimes you can try to be objective or whatever, but your support group sometimes and many times it has to be bigger than just that circle that you're around all the time. If you in that same circle, especially the circle that's not growing, and you might have some best friends from childhood and they your friend, and they wonderful, and they are there for you if you ask them to do something, and they listening and this and that, but are they growing? Are they moving? So how they gonna tell you what to do?
Right.
They can. They can, but they can't have the best ideas when you growing and you moving. It's okay to move forward to someone else. And so we gotta get in this space, and that's what happened with Malcolm, because as he moved past the Cosby Show, he moved into different things and he moved up. And so, yes, that support has to evolve with your purpose. And I know that's how I was able to reinvent myself. I got around people that I didn't really know, and it was hard for me to do it because, like I said, my mama, and I said it over and over, my mama say women are users and losers. Don't try to get with them, they're gonna try to take your man and all this kind of stuff. You know, that's what they grew up on. And so I had a very hard time really trusting women. So when I got in this group,
Mm.
I was real skeptical, like I told y'all. But I stepped out and I went to, I always talk about this. I went to a women's empowerment event. And that was the one thing that changed everything. And I got around so many different people that were doing things that I never thought people could. You know, I see people, and when they talked about it, I was like, they lying, whatever.
Mm.
And I watched close and I was very discerning. But as I started to watch closely, I learned so much. And to see them do what they were doing, it helped me to do the things I wanted to do. And when I got in that
Mhm.
group, you know how many businesses I called myself starting before I really got around
Mhm.
people that were really doing the thing? Because I wanted to do a business, for I knew people that really did business. I mean, my uncle had a
Mhm.
funeral home and everything. That wasn't a thing I was trying to do. And then my other uncle, you know, acting and doing what he did. But I wasn't around women to see that they really, and then when I got around it, it was like, oh, sometimes we got to get around different spaces and places. And I know, and I truly believe, I'm kind of, y'all tell me, this kind of like off the subject, but on the subject, and it's talking about reinventing yourself.
What is that?
My husband said this to me the other day. I have friends and family that say this all the time. I'm at an age right now, I don't need no new friends. I don't want no new friends. I ain't trying to get around no new people. I believe that to a certain extent. But I do think you have to get around other people to really reinvent yourself and get where you're trying to go. Thoughts?
You know my thought on that. We're sitting here telling people to get in different spaces and places around different people. So, does that really make sense? Now, if you're not moving and grooving and trying to improve yourself and do something different,
Mhm.
then it makes sense to you. But don't say that to me because my idea, me meeting one person, somebody new, that might change my whole life. So I
Right.
disagree with the statement. Now, you talk about being stuck and stagnant. Okay, if you want to be stuck and stagnant, then go with it. But understanding who's around you too makes a difference. I just happen to be lucky to have a group of women around me who motivate me, who have my back. And I know they do. Um, but I still want to meet people outside of that because I'm trying to accomplish something.
And I think that that's one
Mhm.
of the things people
Mhm.
need to pay attention to. At this age, we do have our friends who and opening up to everybody. Some people get that we just talked about silence. See, just because you get around somebody, and especially if you're getting around them to learn something, to grow, stop trying to make them your best friend for you even got what you trying to get. You going to get
Right.
friendships, they develop. If they develop that, they develop. But sometimes people don't even, they getting in, you pushing in, you trying to make a friendship, but you trying to do the business. Get the main thing, Get that business or the information you need. When I coach people as a coach, as the next level chick, I'm a coach. And I've had people to get out of next level chick. She ain't even trying to let us know her. She want to know all our business, but she ain't really talking about herself. I'm the coach. I am not the friend. And I explained this is not a girlfriend network. It's not.
Right.
You're not here to be my friend. You're here to learn. That's what you paid me for. And so if you don't understand that and you got a problem, I don't have no problem getting rid of people because I'm not there to make a friend. Even as an educator and working as a college professor, I have people that came in, my classes, and they like girlfriend, and I am Mrs. Upson Bush.
Yeah.
I'm not your girlfriend. I'm not your play buddy. Your pal. This is my position. And sometimes when people start to move to do different things, they get stuff twisted. They forget what they there for. And they go to try to making a friend. A friendship can happen. But it's very, very good to make sure you understand your purpose. What is Sonia saying? It is good to network with new people to grow and develop. Absolutely. But the term of friend is a special designation for me, and everyone can't have. Ooh, amen.
Absolutely.
I love it.
And so if you are with the coach, and I want to tell, because I had in Next Level Chicks, I think I had 4 people that for the first couple of years, everything went beautifully. And the one person that got in wanted to be a friend and started talking to other people, and but I knew my position, and so I stayed in it. Now I've had some people that have come through Next Level Chicks. We've had great relationships, and that was great. But they still understood, and they still understand. I'm the coach. I'm the coach. That's what I'm there for. And so if I get all involved in this and that or whatever, then I'm gonna be the subjective and can't do my job. So we got to remember what it is we are supposed to be doing. And I think that's where a lot of people get mixed up. And so now you are the weapon formed against yourself because you're messing up your own reinvention. And that's a no. Because we're talking about Malcolm Jamal Warner and how he reinvented himself. And we're trying to help everybody to be in a space and place to understand that you can reinvent yourself. It's really important. You know that. But how you do it is very important. And we have to be very specific and calculated with what we're doing. We have to, like Tammy said, we have to make a decision. This decree, declare, decide. And then be determined to make those things happen that you said you wanted to do. And when you get in a friendship, sometimes that can't happen. And then you don't get reinvented. Sometimes people look like, and they look good, but they really not good. So you don't even really know who you funding anyways. Like Sonia just gave y'all. Let me read that again. It is good to network with new people, okay? To grow and develop. That's what you're doing. Growing and developing. But the term friend is special. It's a designation that's not for everybody. And so as you move forward to reinvent yourself, remember that. I think that'll help you go a long way. So I love what we said about reinventing yourself. That was just so amazing and so wonderful. Let's talk about how watching Malcolm Jamal Warner grow older in the public eyes, how was that inspiring to you? And how are you moving forward, aging with authenticity? Because that's what he did. He stayed true to himself. And sometimes a lot of people, they're just not authentic.
Somewhere along the way, he was taught some of that.
Absolutely.
So it did, first of all, our makeup, who we are, comes from our foundation, which was whether you were mom, dad, grandma, aunt, whoever, So he had to have to move and prosper the way he did. He had to have a strong uh, mother or foundation behind him, someone that taught him how to focus and how to uh, move and make things happen, as I always say, beautifully, and to direct him or direct him in those positions that he wanted to go in. It's the same that I do with my children. Um, I tell my kids, and I always have, do what you want to do, but go do it quietly. You don't have to tell everybody what you're doing. And because they've done that and they're still that way and they're still private and they still move and think when we have things just pop out on people, we know behind the scenes what's going on, but nobody knows. So that stuff is taught though, because if people know, then it's a whole lot of whatever. So I applaud his mom or whoever was behind the scenes with him. They did a wonderful job.
I agree with some of that, Tammy, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because we have people that come from the same family, and one of them may be just excellent, and they may be wonderful, but then you got somebody that's just they may be in prison right now. Maybe they made a mistake, but maybe they've been bad. I saw one of my students, former student. I had his brother, and I was like, hey, how y'all doing? How's your mama? And then I'm asking about the student, and the brother's doing great, lovely. They came from the same mama and daddy, and we know
I was
lots of
there.
families like that.
I
And
was there.
then he said, well, mama just washed her hands. She tired. He been in and out of prison, and he's almost 40 years old right now.
Mhm.
And they came from the same family. So I believe in some of that. We are born and we are raised looking like our parents. And I'm sure y'all have heard this. But as we're really grown, we look like our decisions.
That's part of it.
We could have been raised in a great family. All of my kids, 8 of them, we did what we did. Every child is different. And they have a good foundation. So thank God everybody is good for the most part. But everybody doing something different. And some people have, some are more mischievous than others, and some this, that, whatever. So it does come from the upbringing. But eventually, I think that, it comes from because you could send your child to school and you don't know who the hell they gonna be around. And sometimes kids they're quiet. They may not, be that outgoing person. They get connected to the wrong people. So now they coming in your house and they look good and they seem good, but they going around sneaking around and doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we
Mhm.
have to make a decision on our own, and especially now we grown. We might look like our decisions, but we do have like our parents, and we may look like our decisions, but it's up to us to do the reinvention. That's my thought.
Mhm.
So what y'all?
Mhm. I made my statement.
I mean, yes, you made your statement,
Yeah,
and
but
like I said, I'm partially with that. Gail and Toya, y'all have any thoughts on that?
I was like, Gail, go.
The first time was everybody just like hush mouth. What's that about? Ooh.
I was
Yeah,
waiting on letting Latoya bless us.
Yes, yes, yes.
go ahead, Toya. Toya.
Can y'all hear me okay?
yes.
Yes,
Hmm.
ma'am.
Yes. So going back to the question, how watching him grow older, how was it inspiring? I've always been a fan, right? So seeing him, as adolescent into the many things that he's done over the years and currently, he was a star of one of my favorite shows, which is The Resident. So just looking back at his legacy is very inspiring, right? Because we're looking at all the wonderful things that he did and how he kind of evolved throughout the years. And I often wonder what would people say or remember about me, when I'm no longer here. So it was great seeing him evolve from adolescent to, a man in his 50s. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Toya, you brought us back in, baby. You brought us back in because that was the question. I got a little off, but I had to say that because it's true. It happens. We do look like our parents as we growing up, but then when we grow up, we're supposed to look. I mean, we can look like them, but we should look kind of like ourselves in our decisions, and we should look really better because I want my children, and I know y'all all do too, to be better than you are, to be better than we are. We want more for them. So yeah, they're gonna look a little different. So thank you for reeling us back in. So yeah, Gail, you want to say anything? Add anything to it?
I would just say really quickly is that, the impact that has felt by so many people, we saw, like you mentioned, we just saw him evolve and we saw him grow up and he started with a very strong foundation. And the thing, when he was evolving and growing, and we just saw him going from show to show to show and accomplishing all these things, and the things that he didn't talk about, a lot of things, a lot of his accolades and things he had accomplished. We had to find out about them. He wasn't very verbal about his accomplishments. But what we didn't get to see is the times where he went in for something and he didn't get it. What we didn't get to see was him quit because he faced some challenges and it just didn't go his way. Um, and the foundation that he comes from, Miss Pam, ain't no joke. So the what he comes from, that was has been instilled in him and invested in him. He comes from that fabric that to keep going. But we don't always get to see that. We always see is accomplishing this and this level and the next level. And now you're in a total different industry. And now you're writing music. Now you're doing poetry. Now you're empowering and being an inspirational voice for your community. And we
Right.
see the evolution
Right.
and the great and him gracefully doing it. Because why? Because he committed to, whenever that beginning came for him, he made the decision to do it and to start at whatever level it was, and everything he did impacted people's lives. So I will quickly share with people, no matter where you are in the world, no matter where you came in on his journey, and you felt some type of kindredness with him because you watched him grow up, you watched his career evolve right in front of your eyes, and you feel the weight of the loss. That is okay. And you don't have to explain that to anybody as to
To
why you
anybody.
feel a certain way about the loss.
Right.
Love on
Right.
yourself, give yourself grace. Malcolm Jamal Warner is Jersey City's favorite little cousin. So, and people embrace him outside of our hometown. People have embraced him around the world because he brought joy, he brought strength, empowerment, and inspiration in everything that he did. And to try to embrace that we're going to miss those things. That is a part of grief. That is a part of your life that you have to give yourself grace to go
Right.
through.
Right.
Allow yourself to have the emotion, allow yourself to feel it, and find ways. If you got to talk to somebody, talk to the right people, because everybody doesn't understand. Because again, people will impose their own traumas, fears, and ignorance and opinions on you. Just talk to the right people and just go through your stages and phases as you need to, but it truly is okay.
Absolutely. I love what you
Nice.
said. I have
Nice.
two things that I want to say. First of all, I like the point that you said he went through his things and we didn't know what he didn't finish or didn't make or he didn't get that part. And I want to point that out to you all because a lot of people look, they compete, they compare, and they contrast. Oh, she
Mhm.
always get it. Oh, she got money. And I don't got this and I don't got that. We never know what we are looking at. Everybody has something that maybe didn't go right. And what I want to say is things go wrong so that they can go right. We've got to have these experiences to happen. And just because he didn't publicly announce it doesn't mean that he didn't have things going wrong. Everybody had something to go wrong. And so when you get in a space where you feel like it's not working, you feel like it looked good for everybody else, it's good for you too. You just have to stay the course. And that's exactly what he did. He stayed the course. He represented. He showed up. And that's how he went up. The next part that I want to say, and I talked about this in a live, I felt really, just taken aback by this situation. And somebody was like, why would you even be acting like that? You ain't know him. He ain't know you. And Gail just spoke on that. We feel the loss without meeting him personally because he was in our living room every week, every Thursday on channel 2 here, NBC. I don't know where it was with y'all, but it was NBC, 8:00 p.m. We saw it. He represented to us what we rarely saw or what we never saw many people doing Black people do. We didn't see Black people. I mean, I saw more of that and some of that as I was growing up, but a lot of people didn't. And so he represented something that a lot of people didn't see or feel that they could be. So they felt like, oh my gosh, I feel connected to him because this is what I want to do. He did it. I can do it too. Then he grew up with us. We all in that age range. So he grew up with us. And he was so authentic, but you don't get a lot of that. And he got to be himself. And what I do know is that people need to understand that grief does not carry proximity. We don't have to be around those people all the time. We don't even have to know them. Grief is grief. And so don't let anybody make you feel bad because of how you feel or what you're grieving. I talked to somebody last week. Their mama died in 2008. Still going to therapy. Who gets to say that? Oh, that's too long. You don't get to say that. You don't get to decide how somebody grieves. And don't let somebody decide that for you. Don't care what they say. Everybody has to go through their process. And we need to allow people to do that. People always want to tell you what to do, and the main people telling you what to do, sweep around your own front door and shut up.
Because people that have something to say, an opinion about work that they're not even willing to do, and you are stepping out and moving forward and really doing the things that you see yourself doing. But people will criticize work that they won't do, can't do, not willing to do, and cannot commit to. And that is truly okay because your purpose and your walk won't change what they're gonna do for themselves, because all you're doing, you will inspire them, but all of that is to, in my opinion, whatever I've experienced, is when you start growing and developing and you start getting catapulted and going from level to level and glory to glory, people get left behind. And it's a twofold struggle because for some reason we struggle to let them go and they struggle to let us leave, because when we're gone, that reminds them of the things that they didn't do for themselves. And we struggle to let them go in the fear of how they view us. But their view of me does not compare to what God has for me. Because whether I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, whether I'm not doing anything at all, which most people are comfortable with you being right there, but either way, that their diluted version of me cannot hold me in bondage. And if I do that, I'm allowing them power over my life. Nobody has power over. You can't take my life if you didn't give it to me. You cannot break me because you did not make me. We have to focus on what we are made of and made from. People's opinions of us have have never made us, and we should not let it break us. And unfortunately, a lot of people allow those things to break them, and they allow them to dilute them, and they shrink down in this uncomfortable box for people.
Yeah.
For people. You
Yeah.
have to find your purpose.
Right.
Focus on your purpose and not the people. Because I
Right.
promise you, when you go reach the stars and do your thing and live your best life, and you finally tap into your power and you lean into that,
Right.
they still right there. Whether you grow and go or you stay back there with them and you just shrink up in the
Hey.
bubble, they're still going to be there. Choose
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Find ways to choose yourself. Take the steps to find out who you are and lean into that thing full throttle, all gas, no brakes. Do it.
Gail,
Man, amen.
I call that the stuck growth meter.
The stuck broke me.
No, the stuck growth meter.
Oh, the stuck growth meter.
Up
Ooh.
growth meter.
And we let
Well,
it stay
y'all,
stuck. We get to move that.
we do.
We get to move.
Well,
I
Absolutely. This
choose me
is
too,
good.
that. Oh God, I choose.
This is good. It's our time. Put in the comments, I choose me. Put a one if you enjoyed
I
this.
choose me.
If y'all following us, thank you. If y'all could share this out, we'd appreciate this. We are super excited because we have a couple of things going on. We are going to be in Texas at the Run Conference. Yay, with Dr. Cass. That's going to be great. We're going to be podcasting there. We also have our cruise coming up in connection with Next Level Chicks. Yay! October 17th through 20th. Y'all come on, jump in, jump in, jump in. We're excited about the people that are going, and we just can't wait. And so, yes, thank y'all. I love it. I choose me. I choose me. I choose me. We got to start to choose ourselves. And I just love that we were able to have this conversation to pay homage to Malcolm Jamal Warner while also thinking about what we need to do in the legacy that we're leaving. And as Latoya says, she often thinks about it. I'm sure we all do at this spicy age, because we should be leaving a legacy. We're not just here to live and die. We're here for a purpose. And if you're walking in that purpose that you're supposed to be walking in, you will be leaving a legacy. So think
right.
about what legacy will you be leaving? I
Mhm.
want y'all again to share this out. I thank y'all so much for being a part of this, and we love y'all so much. And wait a minute, because y'all know what I did not do. I gotta do it, and then we getting ready to go. We have some people that have truly been engaging with the spicy page. Which I want to say this is the Facebook page. And we also want to say thank you to you all that have been on YouTube. I'm not going to leave no names out, but y'all know who's here every week. We appreciate y'all. Y'all been showing up and showing out. We appreciate you. We want to build up our YouTube page and our Facebook page. So I want to go ahead and shout out our people that have been really engaging this week. And we want y'all to be top engagers too. So, and guess what? It's 2 men. Yay! Okay, so shout out to James Morris. Woo, woo, woo. Marilyn
James.
W. Gail Potter. Nurse
Yes.
Sherry, and Mike
Yes.
Hudson. Thank y'all for being top
Yes.
engagers and top sharers this
Yes.
week on the Spicy
Thank
page. We
you.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
We appreciate everybody that is coming on, that is saying stuff. We're posting, we're doing things. We want y'all to engage. We also want y'all to tell us what y'all want us to talk about. This is for not just us, but it's for y'all too. So we
Right.
want to hear from y'all, and we want to know what y'all want to hear about so we can talk about it. And we didn't
Beautiful.
come here to be here all long. We came here to be strong, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And we shall see you again, same time, same place next week.
Bye-bye.
Every day and every way, make sure we keep it spicy,
Nice.
because we the
Nice.
Spicy Season Sisters. Talk to y'all later.
Fight up.
Good night.
Good night.